Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan, and today I'm going to be showing you my new Chanel bag. I did not expect at all to get a Chanel bag this last weekend. In fact, this past Friday I tried to vlog. It was my very first attempt. It was a little weird, it didn't quite work out, and I thought that vlog would end with me getting a Lady Dior. I did not. I spent the entire December thinking about which one I wanted to get, and I was pretty set on the cloud color. I'll show a picture here. It's gorgeous. I love this bag. I love the brand. If you've seen my Dior collection video, I'll link that. I love the brand. Clearly, I have so many different pieces from them, but honestly, all of the pieces I've collected, I went in knowing very little about. Now maybe that's not the best way to spend, but for some reason those are the bags that I'm most excited and sure about. I've gotten a ton of use out of them. I don't regret a single Dior purchase so far. But I've been looking at the Lady Dior for over a year now, and I have watched countless reviews. I have watched some reviews multiple times. That's nuts. And I mean, here's where I'm gonna be kind of the crazy bag lady for a second. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but sometimes like the longer you hunt for something, like the more you feel like you need to succeed. I have invested so much time in this, I need to get it. I've spent so many hours watching videos and trying this on, it's a little nuts. And I think my advice to anyone, if you're feeling pressure to buy a bag, or if you think you want it but you can't pull the trigger on it and you're just not sure, I would say stop watching videos, stop looking at Instagram photos, because I have spent way too much time scrolling through every Lady Dior related hashtag, every video. It kind of just became like a borderline obsession that I needed to step back from. I was so sure that I was going to buy that bag, and it definitely fits in with some of my pieces. Like I have really floaty, feminine, girly dresses, and it would absolutely work with those outfits. But for the most part, I'm predominantly a casual dresser, especially fall through spring. It gets pretty chilly up in New England, and we get rain, we get snow. I wear dark denim, I wear jeans, I wear big bulky coats, you know, and like I want a bag to fit in with most of my clothes, not just a few special occasions, or at least until I build up my collection a little bit more. I don't want to have a massive 70 bag, 50 bag collection. That's just not me. It's not what I want. I feel like it becomes, you can be more likely to regret something, and also having to deal with selling. Now, I don't look at resale value when I consider a bag. I know the Lady Dior doesn't do that great in that department, but that's not something I look at. I want to keep my collection small, curated enough that I never have to deal with selling. Perhaps it'll happen one day, it's just hard to know, but I feel like when you start buying luxury bags, it's so easy to go down the rabbit hole. I've just decided to put the Lady Dior to the side for right now. And here's like the real crazy thing. I think the thing that made it so obvious to me was I tried on the cloud color in store this past weekend. They had one left and it was damaged. There was the stitching was coming off on top of the handle, and I felt this sense of relief that I didn't need to buy it. I was like, oh good, the pressure's off. I can choose to order it, I can choose not to, but whatever it is, I don't have to take this home today. That's crazy. And I am so well aware of that. Like, you should not be having those feelings when you are thinking about spending that much money on a bag, because obviously none of this is necessary. Okay, so that's all about my Lady Dior experience, and that led me to go into Chanel the next day. I went into Boston the following day because I realized I have this kind of chunk of money that I had put aside expecting to spend it on the Lady Dior. I can look at other things. What's really nuts is there are things at Dior that I would consider buying, things that I would be more excited to buy that are less expensive. But I was telling myself, nope, you can't spend that money on that because you're focusing on the Lady Dior. Okay, enough about my craziness on that, but I went into Chanel, and the very first bag I tried on, I immediately wanted it. There's not going to be a proper unboxing because I did not have any boxes, If you can hear that jingling, you already know what it is. I picked up the small Chanel 19. They're actually going to mail me a box. They asked me if I wanted it. I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. When it comes in, why not? But I picked up the small 19 in a tweed. It's actually a black tweed, but it has a navy ribbon running through it and the gold and black Chanel ribbon. I love this handbag. I was so giddy when I finally got to use it the next day. I just immediately wanted to take her out. And that's how a bag should make you feel, you know? Obviously none of this is necessary, so it should be really exciting. I had to message Princess Lux Love on Instagram because I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, do I actually get this? I wanted some feedback. None of my girlfriends are into this kind of thing. And I was snapping my husband, but he was at work. So I love this handbag. In fact, I know that Princess Lux Love, she has it. It looks great on her. She has the black one, and I never really thought that the leather versions were for me, but there's just something about the tweeds, because I wouldn't typically go for this kind of chunky chain. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. Obviously I bought it and I love it, but for some reason I just like the chunky chains on a tweed bag. I think because it's not shiny, I think because it's not on like shiny leather, there's just something about it that I like more. This being black, but it's just so not, like, it's not just a black bag. And because it's tweed, it's also like a much softer black. So I love this bag. I think the thing that really won me over was I was wearing a t-shirt with a cardigan, and then as my coat, just a simple trench. Like, you can't get any more plain Jane than that, but that's pretty much my shopping uniform because that's what I wear most days. I tried this bag on with just the t-shirt. It looked good. Tried it on with the cardigan over the t-shirt. It looked great. Tried it on with the trench. It looked great. I think it is so easily worn with all the things that I typically wear. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it. I can't say the same for the Lady Dior. I think it looks good when it's worn casually, but I know that you have to be careful with color transfer, and it's just, I feel like it would require a little bit more effort on my part. Some people find it really easy to style, but I've had trouble thinking like, okay, well, if I get a cool color, then is it gonna match with these tones, and yada yada. When I went in, I said I didn't want a black bag, and I don't feel like I bought a black bag because it's just so much more than a simple black bag. To give you some of my first impressions on this, it's definitely a hefty bag. It's not the lightest bag, but it's not uncomfortable, at least from my, 30 minutes of wearing it. Perhaps it would be heavier if it was in the leather, but this is a solid tweed. It's quite thick and really luxurious. The chains, I think, are hollow, but it's really comfortable to wear. It has this padded leather right here, so I think it looks great crossbody. I'll have some pictures from the day so you can see what it looks like on me. I'm 5'5" for reference. I think it's just a really versatile bag. I immediately carried it handheld. It just fit really naturally on my body. It also fits in the crook of my arm. So when I was grocery shopping, I felt like I could, was hands-free, even though I had this like big chunky bag. And also you don't have to worry about it banging into any corners. My Ferragamo box bag recently did get damaged. First bit of damage in 1 year, but that is a solid bag. I mean, you can knock on it and it sounds like you're knocking on a piece of wood. And it banged into the car when I was getting out. It swung forward and it now has this little white nick on it. And my point is that I don't have to worry about that with this bag. So that is my first impression. This is my new baby. I love this handbag so much, and I know it's kind of crazy to be this gaga about handbags, but the point is they should absolutely make you thrilled, because why are you spending that amount of money? I mean, this purse costs more than my car, because I quite happily drive an old dumpy car, and I love that thing. Like, it's just so silly that I was feeling so much pressure to buy a Lady Dior, and maybe one day I will add one to my collection, but it doesn't have to be right now, it doesn't have to be ever. So that's my little reveal today. I'm going to have my videos followed if you want to see what I was potentially going to buy, if you want to see how the Lady Dior looks on me, how it moves. If you want to watch that little mini Boston vlog, I'll have that following. Otherwise, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.